Okay, we'll just go quickly over my audio essay revisions. We'll start with the initial one, which is right here. Okay. So that format was there was some sound effects here, and I was reading the poem like this. Refugees by Martha Sprackland. I sit on my coat and think about home. Okay, there we can see that there's a fire sound in the background. Wanders over, sits down with a bump. Okay, I continue, but I don't have any more sound effects in it. Stumbled upon this work by Martha Sprackland after a quick Google search for the keywords. Right there, I had an issue with kind of telling about my process, which is a little weird. Let me see. And then the Obama administration has publicly stated that they would admit 10,000 additional. Okay, so I go from that poem to then talking about the political implications of Syrian refugee crisis. And as Dan and I both talked about it, it was a little bit scattered. And it wasn't very focused, so I decided to actually just to completely do away with incorporating the poem, and we just focused on completely like a political audio essay.
Picture of the toddler's lifeless body washed ashore on a beach in Turkey has shocked the world and caught attention to the plight of Syrian refugees.
So now in this new one, I use statements from Peter Baker in Frontline, who's a New York Times reporter, reports from news sources about Alon Kurdi, the 3-year-old that washed up, Obama's statements, Martin O'Malley's statements. And then, let's see, I'll just skip over to something. So I used pretty much a whole new batch of files. Like right here, I go from that clip in the current refugee crisis, me, then to
Obama's having second thoughts. He's feeling alone.
that's Peter Baker from Frontline. Then I talk again of the refugee crisis.
It is the responsibility of all Americans, of every faith, to reject discrimination. It is our responsibility to reject religious tests on who we admit into this country. It's our responsibility to reject proposals that Muslim Americans should somehow be treated differently.
To using Barack Obama. So I did that. Used Martin O'Malley again, calling for 65,000 refugees, but instead of using the poem to like loosely weave it in, I just used Audacity to just balance out these official statements with this historical context to my call to be more empathetic to these refugees. At the end I say we have to do our part as like the global leaders, and I mean I just felt like it was more important, more concise, more succinct, to instead of try to I mentioned this in my reflection, but instead of just trying to focus on weaving the two kind of related things together, just focus narrowly on the refugee issue. And so that is what I did. And then you can find it on SoundCloud. I have both a draft, which is 5 minutes and 50 seconds, to the final, which is 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Has, like I said, narrow focus, and I just think it's more successful.